You're making this statement, you're stating it as a fact in front of all these people. There must be a reason, there must be something that you encountered that led you to this rather radical conclusion.
Cameras caught it because I was like, it's just a natural reaction. And there's a lot of people who said that was rude, done that, or you acted triggered. It's like, no, I didn't yell at him.
Ever wonder why some people get so worked up over Halloween costumes? It's like they're on a mission to find offense in everything. But here's the thing, maybe they're missing the point entirely. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. In this video we're gonna look at real examples of cultural exchange gone wrong. You'll see how this obsession with being offended is actually killing creativity and understanding between cultures. Stick around to find out how we can appreciate other cultures without walking on eggshells. You know what's crazy these days? People are losing their minds over cultural appropriation left and right. It's like you can't even put on a Halloween costume without someone freaking out. What's the deal with that?
Outfit is offensive?
Are you Mexican?
No.
Yes.
I think it reaffirms stereotypes that are offensive to people.
Let's get real for a second. Cultural appropriation is supposed to be about disrespecting other cultures, right? But it's gone totally off the rails. Some folks are so quick to get offended, they're actually killing real cultural exchange. It's insane. Remember that girl who wore a Chinese-style prom dress? The internet went nuts. But here's the kicker. A ton of Chinese people were totally cool with it. They were like, what's the big deal? It just shows how disconnected the outrage is from reality sometimes.
Do you find my outfit offensive?
Yes. Yeah.
Why?
Because it's not your culture.
You don't really understand what their culture means.
And it's not just clothes, food, music, art. Nothing's safe from these self-appointed cultural appropriation police. They're everywhere, looking for the next thing to get mad about. It's exhausting. You want to know what's really messed up? A lot of these offended people aren't even from the cultures they're supposedly defending. They're just jumping on the outrage bandwagon, acting like they're saviors or something. It's ridiculous. Here's the thing, cultural exchange isn't theft. It's how we learn about each other and grow as a society. When we mix things up, we get amazing stuff like jazz. That's a blend of African American, European, and Latin American music, and it's awesome. But nowadays, people would probably freak out and call it appropriation. Some smart people get it though. They're saying we need to chill out with all this offense taking. They're like, hey, engaging with different cultures can lead to innovation and a deeper appreciation of diversity. But good luck getting the outrage mob to listen to that.
Nouns, I'm not certain. Yeah, like it's like a knife in the heart. I did specifically ask ahead of time not to be called sir.
It's time to wake up and realize that this obsession with cultural purity is doing more harm than good. We're missing out on so many chances to learn and create cool new things. Instead of bringing people together, it's pushing us apart. But hold up, it gets even crazier. Wait till you hear about what's happening in schools. You think schools are supposed to open kids' minds? Yeah, well, forget that. These days, they're slamming those little brains shut faster than you can say culturally insensitive. It's like they're training a whole generation to be professional offense takers. You won't believe what's going down in classrooms across the country. So here's the deal. Instead of teaching kids about other cultures, schools are now all about walking on eggshells. They're so scared of being called racist, they're scrapping whole lessons on different cultures. It's nuts. Kids aren't learning about the world anymore. They're just learning how to spot offensive stuff everywhere they look. And it's not just in schools. Colleges are going crazy with this too. They're canceling cultural events left and right.
Voluntarily go to lectures. It's so awful. I can't imagine that, the people.
You're making this statement, you're stating it as a fact in front of all these people. There must be a reason, there must be something that you encountered that led you to this rather radical conclusion.
No more international food festivals or global themed parties. Heaven forbid someone might actually enjoy food or music from another culture, right? It's like they're trying to keep everyone in their own little cultural bubble.
Hard for you. You have to live in the richest, most equitable, most just country in the history of the world. You have to get a college education.
You want to know the real kicker? All this so-called sensitivity is actually making people more closed-minded, not less. Kids are growing up thinking it's wrong to appreciate stuff from other cultures. That's the exact opposite of what we should be teaching them. We're raising a generation that's afraid to explore and appreciate the world's diversity. Think about it. How are we supposed to understand each other if we can't even learn about each other's cultures? It's like we're telling kids, don't you dare be curious about the world.
Promote like this hate towards people like me and other trans people, and trans people get murdered because of the hate against them.
Just stick to your own lane. That's not education, that's indoctrination. And the worst part, this isn't making anyone more respectful or understanding. It's just creating a bunch of kids who are terrified of saying or doing the wrong thing. They're so busy looking for offense, they're missing out on all the cool stuff other cultures have to offer.
They do not like the bodies that they're in. I have extreme empathy and compassion for that, but that just because someone feels that way does not mean it's true.
Education should be about opening minds, not closing them. But right now, we're raising a generation that's afraid to even look at anything outside their own little world. It's a mess, and it's only getting worse. But wait, you think this is bad? It gets even more ridiculous when you see how this mindset is messing with the arts. Just wait till you hear what's happening there. Ever wonder why movies and music seem kind of bland lately? It's not your imagination. The whole entertainment industry's gone into panic mode, terrified of stepping on cultural toes. But here's the real shocker. This fear might be killing the very diversity it's supposed to protect. Let's talk about how this cultural appropriation obsession is messing with art and entertainment. It's getting ridiculous. Artists and creators are walking on thin ice, scared to death of being called out for stealing from other cultures. It's like they can't make a move without worrying someone's gonna accuse them of appropriation. Remember when that author got slammed for writing about experiences that weren't her own? Since when is imagination a crime? It's crazy. Writers are supposed to create new worlds and characters, but now they're afraid to step outside their own little box. What's next? Telling Shakespeare he can't write about Italian teenagers because he's not from Verona. And it's not just books, movies, music, fashion, they're all taking hits. Producers are second guessing every decision, worried about offending someone. You've got Hollywood execs freaking out over casting choices.
Cameras caught it because I was like, it's just a natural reaction. And there's a lot of people who said that was rude, done that, or you acted triggered. It's like, no, I didn't yell at him.
Musicians scared to experiment with different sounds, and designers sticking to the safest, blandest styles possible. It's like creativity's on life support. Here's the kicker. Some of the greatest art in history came from mixing cultures. Think about it. Jazz, rock and roll, hip hop, all born from blending different cultural influences. But now, that's apparently a big no-no. We're losing out on amazing collaborations and fresh ideas because everyone's too scared to step out of their cultural lanes. Art is supposed to push boundaries and bring people together. It's about exploring new ideas and challenging our perspectives. But this hypersensitivity is killing creativity and dividing us even more.
That this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
We're missing out on so much potential awesomeness because everyone's too busy worrying about offending someone. And if you think that's bad, wait till you see how it's affecting everyday people. This isn't just about big shot artists and Hollywood types anymore. It's creeping into our daily lives in ways you wouldn't believe. You think it's just celebs and artists getting heat? Think again. This cultural appropriation obsession is seeping into every corner of society, and it's got regular folks running scared. From small business owners to your average Joe trying to expand his horizons, nobody's safe from the call-out culture. Let's get real for a second. This isn't just some Twitter drama anymore. It's messing with people's actual lives and jobs. You've got small business owners getting slammed for selling stuff inspired by other cultures, even when they're trying to show appreciation, not steal anything. It's like they can't win. And it's not just businesses. Regular people are scared to try new things or express themselves. It's like we're all tiptoeing through a minefield of cultural no-nos. You can't even wear a cool shirt or try a new hairstyle without someone jumping down your throat about it. Here's the real kicker. This whole thing is supposed to bring people together, right? But it's doing the exact opposite. Communities are getting more divided, not less. Everyone's sticking to their own little cultural bubbles because they're too scared to step out. How messed up is that? And you want to know who's really getting screwed over? Often it's the immigrants and minorities. They're getting shut out of sharing their own culture because other people are too afraid to engage. Like, how are we supposed to learn about each other if we can't even talk to each other? We're losing so many chances for real cultural understanding and friendship, all because some folks are too quick to yell appropriation at everything they see. It's like we forgot how to just chill and appreciate different cultures without making it weird. This obsession with keeping cultures pure or whatever is doing way more harm than good. Instead of building bridges between people, it's putting up walls. We're all getting more isolated and afraid of each other. And for what? But here's the thing, it doesn't have to be this way. There's gotta be a better way to respect each other's cultures without turning it into a witch hunt. We just need to figure it out before this whole thing gets even more out of hand. Look, we gotta chill out with this cultural appropriation witch hunt. It's not helping anyone, just making everyone paranoid. Instead of looking for reasons to get mad, let's focus on actually respecting and understanding each other. That's how we bring people together, not by policing every little thing. Next time you see someone appreciating another culture, maybe think twice before yelling appropriation. You might actually learn something new. Like this smart person said, cultural exchange is not about appropriation, it's about appreciation and understanding, which can lead to a more united society. Now, we're all part of this big, messy, beautiful world. Let's stop building walls and start building bridges. It's time to get over this offense-seeking mindset and start talking to each other again. Who knows, we might find out we have more in common than we thought.